If it was a different trans woman who was a bit softer in their approach and made it more of a conversation than what almost feels like a confrontation, I think that's a key thing here. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Alexis Blake. I am a trans woman and I share my life story and opinions on social media. We're going to do opinions reaction video today because I'm in the mood, you know. Quick question, does this top look grey? It was supposed to be white and I'm pretty sure Liam did the washing this week and it now is grey. No shade, Liam, I love you. It's fine. I'm just grateful you're doing the washing. Okay, we need to do more videos with Liam. So any suggestions you have, please comment below. Liam is my fiance. We've been together before transition when I was a boy. We're still together now, getting married this year. We need some more videos together. Give us some fun ideas we can do like for couple videos. Let us know below. Obviously we have our podcast, but give us some inspo because I keep seeing comments. We need to see Liam more, which we'll do. Anyway, up in today's video, we are going to be reacting to some trans TikToks. It's one of my favourite pastimes. I've just been scrolling this week. I've put some to the side that I've, seen and I've enjoyed some of them. Some of them have irritated me. One of them's Lilly, Tino. I just don't mean to do it. I really don't mean to do it. But every time one of that person's videos comes up on my For You page, I have to talk about it, so we're going to do that. So let's dive in. We're going to leave Lilly Tino to the end because we've got some nicer videos that we're going to start with. I saw this video and it's a trans woman talking about detransitioners, which is quite harsh, but I want to watch it with you and see what you think.
Now, I mean this in the most, and I mean the most disrespectful motherfucking way. I'm going to need you people who have detransitioned to please stop speaking on the behalf of the trans community because you are not transgender. Just because you made the mistake and transitioned and thought you was something that you was not, does not mean the rest of us made the same mistake that you did. The ones who are trans, we are very comfortable in who we are. So please, stop, because it's getting old. Go back to who you were to begin with and shut the up, bitch.
That video caught my eye, as you can imagine. Whoo, where do we start there? Okay, I will start with there has been a rise in detransition stories, definitely, because there's been a rise in transition stories. So more people have transitioned, which means there's been more detransitioners. I think detransitioners, I'm not 100% sure on the percentage, but it's very, very small. I feel like social media makes us think it's like 50-50. Like you're either going to transition and half of us stay and half of us go back. But I think the number's a lot smaller than that. I think why this creator's so angry is sometimes, not always, but detransition stories can be used and weaponized against trans people. When a detransitioner comes out and says, I've detransitioned and it was all wrong and X, Y, Z, and they turn it and make the trans community not look great, I think that's where the anger's coming from. Because don't get me wrong, I've seen many detransitioner videos. Some of them absolutely fine. So a lot of detransitioners are just talking about their experience and how they made the wrong decisions and they're not actually trans. Because that's the thing. A lot of detransitioners, not all, but a lot aren't actually trans. Some detransition who are trans because transition's not what they expected, or it's harder, or there's X, Y, Z. Lots of things could go into the reasoning for that. I'm not saying I agree with how the creator's saying it. She's quite abrupt and she's quite angry about it. But I understand that as a trans woman, I think having someone who's detransitioned, who isn't necessarily fully trans, it's not the right spokesperson for the community to shine a light on, because I think it almost takes away, I know we hear this trans joy statement all the time and it's weaponized against trans people, by trans people as well. Sometimes detransitioners remove the trans joy element and it can make it seem like transition's not right for anyone, which is absolutely not the case. Transition for me is life-changing and life-saving, and I never realised how unhappy I was until transition, and then I'm like, wow, I'm actually happy now, living my life every day just as myself. Just being able to leave the front door of my house as Alexis is the best feeling in the world, and I try and not take that for granted. But I think when we see a lot of detransition stories, and sometimes in the media and politics, which I'm not going to go into, politics is not my thing. I dip my toe in every now and again, then I walk quickly away. But I think it can be weaponized against trans people by lots of different politicians, whichever side you're looking at, it can be used against us. So I think that can be a negative thing. So I understand where she's coming from. I agree with some of the things she's saying, but I think the delivery, she's not happy, as we can all see. Anyway, let's move on to the next video. This next video is from a British content creator, and it just made me laugh. So let's just have a little bit of a laughing one in the middle before we react to Lilly Tino.
Just been to the doctors. He asked me if I'm pregnant. I was like, no, because I'm actually born male. He then goes, yeah, I did know when you walked in, to be honest, but we shouldn't assume these things. You cheeky guy.
Oh, it just made me laugh. I just thought it was funny. And I think that's always a great way to look at these awkward situations or uncomfortable situations. Like, just to be able to laugh about it, I think that makes it so much easier. And for me personally, I found in my transition, for me, I'm just going to say that again, for me, laughing at these situations just made everything much more doable and livable, and to not always find the neck, because a lot of people might have gone in that situation and come out really upset and hurt, and they were misgendered and they were clocked as trans. Clocking as trans, if you don't know, is when someone notices you for being trans. So getting misgendered or being clocked, and they could have walked out and found the sadness and the darkness and that, but this UK creator was very funny about it and made a light joke about it, which I like. I like the light-hearted side of it. I think it just makes trans people more relatable. If you can laugh at yourself, then I don't know, I find that an endearing quality. Maybe it's the British in me. Lilly Tino went into a toilet and there was a toddler girl in there. Obviously it's gone viral. Obviously everyone's mad. Let's watch it together. How many views? 1.8 million views. Great representation we have for the trans community. When I say, like, Lilly Tino is, like, one of the most famous trans people right now, I'm not just making that up, am I? Like, Lilly Tino is one of the most infamous trans people that we have who are representing us, whether we like it or not. Let's watch the video.
I was just in the women's room at a cheesecake factory, and when I walked in, there was this little girl, like 3 years old, tops. She was standing there alone, I assumed waiting for her parent who was in the stall. And all the stalls were full. So like I couldn't go in, I just had to wait. And it was me and this little girl and no one else. And she kind of looked at me like, and I just like nodded my head and didn't look at her. I was like, it's kind of awkward. And it occurred to me that when the parent,
I just need to pause it right now. Oh my goodness. Get to the point.
who I don't know, leaves the stall, exits their stall, and sees me, a trans person, and their little 3-year-old daughter, that they might make an assumption based on untrue things that they've heard. An assumption that could be very dangerous for me, unsafe for me. So instead of waiting for that to potentially happen, I left the bathroom and decided I didn't need to pee that bad. Trans people go through this thought process any time they're in a bathroom. And it's not okay. And it's important to talk about because it happens all the time.
Okay. Where do I begin? Right. I'm going to scale the sass in before I let it all out in one go. Okay, right. Let's pick it apart. I disagree with Lilly Tino and the reasoning behind the content, the motivation, a lot of their moral views and how they're operating their life, let's say. But what I will say, a tiny part of me understands what Lilly Tino is saying in this video. And that's because for me personally, when I was earlier on in my transition, I was fully presenting it as Alexis, but I was still visibly trans. And I was using the female bathrooms. I feel like, yes, I did feel like that sometimes. Like, I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. I didn't care how I felt, but I didn't want to make other people feel uncomfortable in that situation. So I understand that element of the video. What I don't agree with, right, we're going to read some of the comments because this is the only way I can explain why Lilly Tino is damaging the trans community. Lilly knows that her content rubs people the wrong way, especially when it's around transition, bathrooms, surgery. Talking about a little girl in a bathroom being on her own when you're this trans woman who is a trans woman, how do I say this without saying it? It's a visible trans woman talking about how she was in a bathroom with a little girl. It's going to rub people the wrong way. And it's the way that it's explained. Again, I'm going to use this word, and it's kind of rude, but the mansplainingness of it. That's what also rubs people the wrong way. But the comments, the top comments, nearly 50,000 likes. Hey, so this is something that should not make you feel awkward at all. If you were in the correct bathroom, you wouldn't have that feeling. Hope this helps. 48,000 likes on that. And this is what I mean when I say this person's really hindering and damaging the trans community's reputation, because that's not opening up a conversation. That's not helping. It's just misgendering someone, which each to their own. But if it was a different trans woman who was a bit softer in their approach and made it more of a conversation than what almost feels like a confrontation, I think that's a key thing here. I think the comments would be different and the video would be received different and understood different. And that's the major problem I've got. Next comment down. That poor little girl, she must have been terrified. 14,000 likes. The next comment down. Feeling awkward around kids in this kind of situation is actually alarming. ... 24,000 likes. You anger me so much. And then a slur, 1,000 likes. She just pees people off. Oh my gosh, that trans woman is brutal. I can't read that, that's too mean. My point is, when will this end? When will Lilly stop rage baiting the trans community? The world we're living in right now, in different parts of the world better, different parts of the world worse for trans people. And I'm just going to focus on trans people just for this little moment. The world that we live in right now isn't the best place for trans people. And as a trans person, they're not helping that, and I don't understand how someone could have such disregard for their own safety, their own public opinion of themselves, and what they are doing for other trans people. That's what the bottom line is for me. If that video was done in a different way, less mansplaining, less confrontational, and I just think it would have landed better. It would have landed in a more... people would have sympathised and empathised more with it, rather than just immediately switched off no and just hatred. Because the comments, you go through the comments, are just awful, and I just wonder when this person will they ever take the comments with a grain of salt, because some of them are quite harsh, but to understand that. And I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I think I said I don't know like 50 times. But that's what I mean. I think it's just content that is controversial and rage baiting, and we're not. Why are we surprised? Why am I surprised every single time when Lilly Tino makes another controversial video? I get frustrated, and then I talk about it, and I don't know why it still surprises me. It's been going on for like over a year now. Anyway, sorry for the sass at the end, and I'm sorry if this top's grey. I'm pretty sure it looks grey, but it was white. Anyway. Thank you so much for watching me reacting to a trans woman, me reacting to trans TikToks. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy this video and this kind of content, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. I post 1 to 2 videos every week with me. Me and Liam have our podcast, The Blake Debate, and I want to get him in more videos. We need to do more together, so comment below anything you want to see me and Liam do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully we won't be talking about Lilly Tino again. Bye! Bye!